Alright everyone, today we're going to talk about Joro Madness, this giant Asian spider which is apparently infesting the east coast of the US. So I hadn't really heard about this for a while. Apparently the spider showed up in 2013 and it just was not on my radar. But this is an East Asian species from Japan and Korea, the coast of China and Taiwan, which has become established in Georgia probably through accidental introduction in a cargo container, and has since spread to cover northern Georgia and the surrounding states, but there are satellite infestations in Maryland and Ohio. These articles that I'm reading have all decided to take the same approach, which is that this spider, while flashy, shouldn't be worried about, and don't panic about these, don't kill these on sight, like what was usually told to you about other invasive arthropods, which I find just ridiculous. So, kind of background for this story that a lot of people don't talk about. So, first of all, my credentials on this. I know a lot about invasive insects. I've worked with invasive insects since 2008, 2009. I've dealt with them professionally. I know quite a bit about them. And they're never good, even if, they're not an immediate economic issue. So, this was probably introduced through a cargo container, if I had to guess, either through the Atlanta airport or through the Savannah seaport, through a container or a cargo that would have either been inspected by USDA or Customs and Border Protection, but still released by USDA. Now, the unofficial policy and some official policy, but overall unofficial policy for USDA is basically to release all predatory species as quote-unquote non-economically impactful, regardless of what they might feed on, for the most part. As long as they aren't being intentionally brought in for the pet trade. If they're accidentally brought in, go ahead and release them, we don't care. This is because they're not considered an agricultural pest, despite the fact that they might have major impacts on the ecology of the area or on public health or any number of other things. USDA doesn't particularly care. We know that spiders aren't generally agricultural pests. In fact, they're considered agriculturally beneficial because they eat pests in fields. However, this giant spider is going to be kind of an invertebrate apex predator for wherever it gets established. We know it's going to have ecological consequences. We know it's going to eat a ton of local invertebrate fauna. In fact, we already know that they can daily eat as much as a bird does. So when they're talking about millions of invasive spiders, really, if you said millions of invasive birds are eating their way through the ecosystem, people would be a little more worried about that than they are about this. But for whatever reason, all of the articles on this, all the university entomology departments, all the government agencies are reading from the same hymnal on this, and they're saying, "Oh, everyone, don't worry about this. Don't kill them. We're just going to let them do whatever they want." And it's, I think, kind of covering for themselves because no one's going to like this. No one wants a yard full of giant spiders or a garden full of giant spiders, or to see giant spiders everywhere where they go for a hike. And the other thing that they're trying to spin this as is, well, we have this spotted lanternfly infestation on the East Coast. Maybe these spiders will eat them. Yeah, these spiders will probably eat them, and they'll eat everything else too, because spiders don't particularly care about their food sources as long as it's small enough. So this is kind of a USDA failure and a CBP failure, although they spin this as it's not economically important. Part of USDA's mission given to them by Congress is that they're also supposed to guarantee the safety of all ecological resources and environmental protections, and they just have totally not done that in this case. And the reason how they justify not doing it in this case is that this would be kind of deleterious to foreign trade. If they had to regulate for predators coming in, it would cost foreign importers too much money, and they don't want to do it. And that's basically how they phrase this now is, instead of applying rigorous regulatory practices to protect the United States, they frame arthropod control, insect and spider control as proper customer service. and it's just a complete failure. Again, people are being told not to kill them on site. Everyone's reading from the same hymnal on this. I think that's ridiculous. If these show up on your property, kill them. All they're going to do is cause tons of damage to the native spider population by displacing them. They'll probably cause damage to other small animals. People, they're saying this isn't dangerous for your pets or for humans if you get bitten. That doesn't mean it's not going to be a problem for small mammals. So just kill them because they're invasive species. If you are at all conservation minded, then you need to kill these on site, just like you would with any other invasive pest. And the thing that no one talks about, again, is the USDA has totally ignored, or the government has ignored, and universities have ignored, and they always do, quality of life issues. If if these breed really fast, they're extremely cold tolerant. They don't care about heat very much. They will survive a bad northeast winter. And you're going to have garages full of these things. You're going to have cellars full of these things. You're going to have gardens full of these things. And people are not going to like it very much. Okay, that's what I wanted to talk about today. See you later.